Hey guys, this is Marcy. I just wanted to chat with you face to face for a second because I found out some sad news just last night. And that is that our own dear Ronda Winstead, one of the, I would say, foremost founders or even pillars of our junk journal community, passed away recently on May 30th. She'd been dealing with cancer for about the last 3 years and recently was put on hospice. So she made arrangements with her husband and gave us a video to let us know what was going on, and then her husband was to do the final farewell. So that video just popped up in my feed. This is a huge loss to the junk journal community. She was such a bright and shining star, a beautiful voice. She just loved everybody, had creativity galore, and so many great ideas. And so it hits us all very hard. If you're not sure who Ronda is, Ronda Winstead, she referred to herself as Ronda without an H. She'd been on YouTube for a number of years. So her channel isn't about her journey with cancer. Her channel is about junk journaling. And if you haven't checked her out yet, please go and watch her videos. She had so much good humor, so much love for everybody. I just want to extend my condolences to Ronda's family and to her husband for coming on to share his news with us when I know he was grieving still. It had only been about 4 days. So I didn't want to let this video go by without acknowledging that. Last week's video was pre-recorded, and so I didn't have a chance to say anything. But again, I just want to extend my heartfelt condolences to Rhonda's family and to our junk journal community, to the many of us who formed a connection with her. I myself felt a little connected, not because we actually conversed personally, other than leaving a comment on her Instagram account here and again, but she was originally from Idaho, and so I always felt that little connection with Ronda. But I know that her ideas and her style have influenced some of my journal making efforts and the things that I like to include. So she's always going to have an impact on us. We all agree that she's gone too soon. I know so many of us really enjoyed her sense of humor, her ideas, the way she connected with us on camera. Although she had been on YouTube for so many years, there are other channels that came along after and maybe got bigger than her channel did, but she always had an impact or had left some lasting impression or a technique or some sort of way of journal making. Her journals were exceptional, and so for that reason I know we're all going to miss her tremendously. So I just wanted to say farewell to Ronda without an H, and to just acknowledge this loss that we're all feeling right now. And now on to the video. Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel if you're new, or welcome back if you're returning. My name is Marcy and this is Creator's Call. Today I wanted to open my channel with kind of a brief update on how the craft room decluttering is going, and so I thought I'd just give you a quick overview of how it's looking. Sometimes I'm discouraged when I look at it and sometimes I'm not. So this little tower that was in there is gone. It's been moved downstairs. Some of this has been moved downstairs. There was a little shelf unit there and it got cleared out and donated. Actually given away. This is still here, and it houses quite a variety of things. In the very top one is some personal household records that need to get moved elsewhere. The middle two have things that are waiting to get documented, scrapbooked, whatever. And some of that is family history in one of those drawers, so that's kind of a whole different category. And then the bottom has some crafting supplies that could probably get condensed into another space. So I've been up here working slowly. There's my chair. I moved one of my craft lamps up here just so I could see when it gets dark. And then this has been cleared off. This little drawer cabinet here is empty. All those drawers are empty, and that's where my punches were. So they are in a spot downstairs, which actually is going to get moved to a new place, relocated again once I get my new organizing system down there. And then this has been cleared out. It had a lot of my pens, pencils, clamps, things. I know it doesn't look like it's cleared out, but it is, because as I'm working up here going through things, I'm trying to write myself notes, and so I'm just stashing a few things in the drawer, but it will be pretty much empty. And then in these drawers here I have got these empty, which they've got new stuff in there now, which I'm not going to show you right now. And then this side over here is just related to crafting and junk journals. And I've condensed that down quite a bit. So they're mostly empty. And then the closet, let's see, what do we got here? I've been working on these shelves right here. That's where all my fabrics and things were stored. But, you know, I mean, I know that looks good, but the stuff that goes on it is right here. This is a donation box for the thrift store. And then I need to go through this. This has the Christmas stuff in it. And what I'm feeling a little stressed about right now is this, because these three boxes / rows of stuff are all journal ideas that I still really want to make. And I have cleared out quite a few because I have to be realistic. There's only so much time in life. And I mean, realistically, which ones do I really want to make? So I need to still honestly pare this down further. But there are, in these two, there's a box and a crate. And so I would say those are the ones I need to focus on first because I most want to make them. These are a mix of secular topics and Christian journals that I've always wanted to make and just still haven't done. You know, like I said, there's only so much time. Oh, I forgot to show you the other side of the closet. And then down here, there's stuff to give away. The blue bag is a sewing journal where I've been collecting supplies. I've been trying to just make one side journal supplies and the other side scrapbooking. So this left side of the closet right now is scrapbooking projects. These are like pens and pencils that I use, which I looked in there again, and I think I need to move some stuff down to one of my, to my white tower, you know, where I organized pens and pencils and things earlier, or move them to another place in the house. But then this one also has like photos. What does that say? Photos to sort and preserve. And then when my daughter was younger, I still want to do a scrapbook called Camille Sings. So I have digital pictures and stuff. This down here still needs to be cleared out. On the far left is page protectors for scrapbooking. And then I have a couple of boxes for when I want to spray paint things, just to kind of help contain the overspray and the splatter. And then this down here, which I have not been able to access for forever, is ideas for other journals or empty binders / covers. But ridiculously, because I kind of forgot about it, I also have this crate over here, which is also empty binders / covers for journals. And this is a series of journals I started back when I started my channel, and I just haven't gotten back to because I had to switch gears. I was going to make them bound journals, but the way the books were constructed, it's just not going to work out. So now I have to use the book rings to do that with. And then here are packets of things I want to just pass on that'll be like journal kits. So there's bears, there's sports, there's like a school kind of one. Anyway, those are still to do when I get time as I continue decluttering. And then a couple of other journal ideas just hanging there. And then here's where we started this whole journey, up here on the top shelf. So that's still looking good. Yay me. Now, as I continue working through this, I'll have to show you the progress I've made downstairs, because I have some boxes in my car that are finally ready to go to the Creative Reuse Donation Center. And then I still have some more that I'll be just donating to the regular thrift store. Uh-oh, I hear lawn noises, so let me move you downstairs. All right, here we are. I wanted to show you, I have some donations for the Creative Reuse store, which is the one that takes all of the craft and creative things and tries to keep them out of the landfill. So this big box here, which is probably kind of hard to get the scale of, that is pretty much full. And let me bring you around to the trunk, because I also have this skinny box here and this box here, which is mostly fabrics and things like that. So I did take a lot of the bigger pieces and just kept a smaller piece for myself, and then I'm donating on the bigger pieces, and that includes like some vintage sheets that I have used in the past but no longer am using. And I've kind of eliminated bright colors from my stash. And then here's that first box that I've shown you in the first couple of videos, so that's full. And then let me pan over to the next spot in my garage. What you see here is a barely mentioned and kind of not really talked about a part of my garage, but I do keep journal supplies out here. I finally got up the courage to just toss all of that old vintage music. I kept trying to sell it. It was in my shop for years and nobody wants it right now. And I just really hated to throw it in the recycling, but it finally made its way there after me storing it for free for 5 years. So, you know, I guess I was just behind the trend or whatever, and it didn't need to live here rent-free. These boxes up here are 4 of them, or 3 of them, I think. 3 or 4 of those up there are ones that I just emptied out of craft supplies, music, journal supplies that I wanted to sell, all that, because my shop is just not selling, and I don't know why, but that's not a topic for this video. But in here, what I really wanted to show you are all of my books and things. So in here are where I've been stashing all of my books to make journals out of or to make journal pages with. These are very handy metal cabinets, and they used to be in my husband's office. His last job made him work from home and gave us a whole bunch of office kind of furniture, and then we were told that if he quit the job within a certain number of years, like I think it was 3 years, that we would have to pay them back, but if he continued working, then basically we ended up getting to keep them. So they have been used for storage out here in the garage for various things, but these I still need to go through. And then I have one over here to my right. Right here I have this, and as you can see, at one point a few years back I went through and I labeled what was in each one. So primarily it's just 2 shelves here. Mostly my vintage music that I'm keeping or that I use, like the hymnals and stuff, are here, plus Reader's Digest or books that I wanted to make journals from. And then up here are like pages, gardening books and cookbooks and flashcards and stuff, just various things. As I'm thinking through how to reorganize things, I think what's going to have to happen is, first of all, I really have to pare this down. I haven't done that yet. I've done a little bit, but not much. And then those 2 shelves and this case, this whole unit here really needs to get condensed down, and then I can put more of my scrapbooking papers out here and the journal supplies out here, all condensed and pared down, which means I have a lot of books to go through and basically just return to the thrift store. So I'm really glad that I didn't spend a lot in the beginning, that these were mostly found thrifting, because it doesn't hurt so much to donate them back. I didn't spend tons of money on any of these books. You know, at most maybe $2 on a book here or there, but kind of cheap. So anyway, a lot of them are on this top shelf are organized by journal project. So again, I need to go through and decide if I really want to make those journals or not, and just let it go. The more you do this, the easier it becomes to get rid of things or to be realistic, because you really have to face some hard truths about yourself and understand that you don't have all the time that you think you do, and it really causes you to focus on what's most important, and then it becomes easier to let the other things go. So that's my thought as I continue working on this over the summer. This is probably going to be a job for during the summer, which is unfortunate because it gets so freaking hot in this garage. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you, and so you can kind of see how the progress is coming. Now let's get to the main part of this video, which is the journal. So here we are back at the craft table, back inside and ready to work on this. I've got my pages and things cut down. I've just got a big pile here, and we're going to try to sort through them and arrange them into signatures. I'm still trying to choose between these 2 covers. So I'm thinking I can bring in some of the green color and stuff when I make the spine for this. I really do love this shade, and I do like the fact that it had the black binding here, but it's going to get covered up when I do put the spine on and cover it and all of that. So I think you guys can probably guess from that which way I'm leaning. Before we start sorting the pages into signatures, I want to extend a hello and a warm welcome to Karen with an I, the book lady, Cherry Berry, Martha Makes Art, and Vivian. Thanks you guys for dropping by the channel, for watching and commenting, and I appreciate that you're here, and I look forward to sharing more videos and interacting with you some more on camera. Now, let's see if we can make sense of this pile and figure out how maybe to arrange the signatures. I did go get a few more coffee dyed papers and things, and I kind of have an idea in mind. I do think at the end of the day, I said in the last video, I wasn't sure if it was gonna end up being more botanical or not, and I think it is definitely leaning more with a botanical feel, but not completely. So I'm ready to just kind of roll with that. I am also gonna just do 3 signatures. And then once I get all these pages assembled, let's hope that we have enough writing space. Although she said she was going to use it for different things, not just for writing, but also for, you know, glue book kind of thing, or mementos as a scrapbook or whatever. So let's do this. Let's do this thing. I went ahead and trimmed all these down. I think I just said that, but just to reiterate, I also folded them and made sure that everything was able to fit inside one or the other of these covers since they're the same size. And I also didn't necessarily fold down the centers, as you can see. Some of them I folded in to make little extra pockets, and some of them I just folded where I wanted this to be the primary image that you see, and then we can extend this page when we put it in the journal. I had several of these that are thicker, and I think that these might be the outside covers of each signature. So I've got these 2, and let me see, I know there's something else in here that I can't remember right off the bat. These 2 are a little thicker, and so are these 2. Well, so is this one and this one. I was trying to figure out, I thought I had something a little sturdier that would make a great cover, or that would make a great outside page for the signature. I have this envelope. I remembered when I was watching something else that I had these envelopes that have kind of that stone look, and I didn't have to do much except fold it in half, and then I just trimmed, I just cut a V and trimmed the corner here to match up. And so that, maybe that could be the outside of the 3rd signature, and then I can do like this. I could organize them this way. So I like that. I like that idea. So I'm going to set these aside. These will be the outside piece. But then what I do, the way my brain kind of helps organize itself, is that then I try to go through each one of these elements. For example, I have 3 music pages, and so I try to put like with like, and maybe even in the order that of which signature they're going to go in. One of these had, there it is, I wanted the Italian name to show on the outside. Then I want the Mamagami one. Did this have a title? No. And the center signature, because it's a little different. And then this one was just music notes, which I love. So that can go in the 3rd signature. So I kind of do it like that, so I can kind of see what goes with what, you know? Kind of see what I have that's similar, so I can divide it among the signatures and I don't get too repetitive. So these are coffee dyed papers from my stash. And again, because the blue is big and bold, I think I'm going to put that in the center signature, and these other 2 in the 2 outside signatures. I have some textured papers. This is Braille paper. I think it'd be kind of cool if I go over it later, maybe with some ink or something to bring out the dots, you know, and the texture on the page. I also have this. This is from an old photo album. You pick them up on vacation. The outsides are made of banana leaves, but I love the texture on the paper. So I just need to find a 3rd one that kind of goes along with that. Maybe, I don't know if I have one. I have this, or I could do this one. It's not exactly as textured, but it's kind of cool. And as far as adding color or ink to this to to highlight the raised bumps on it, the texture on the page. I will decide that once I see it in the signature. So each signature this way is going to take on kind of its own character or personality just based on the pages that are going to land in it. Okay, so I had this one that was from an art book, and I believe I wanted these two to be, where did it go? Here it is. These two pages to be in the other corresponding signatures. I remembered later, after I was editing last week's video, her daughter lives in Arizona, so this is a perfect tie-in. You know, all the color and the desert, this is just gorgeous. So that wound up tying in better than I was thinking it might. Okay, where are the calendar pages? So I had this one, whoops, upside down. I had this one, and then I had the Mamagami one. I don't think I had another one. And then I had these scrapbook papers. To be honest, I'm looking at these again, and I do like this, but as far as the color and everything, I'm not sure that it ties in as well as maybe this one, because I'm wanting to pull out the greens, purples, and pinks. I need to watch how I have these because I have to cover this brand marking thing. You know, seriously, Hobby Lobby, like you could literally just print it along one edge and then we could use more of the paper. Just throwing that out there in case any Hobby Lobby executives are watching. It's just kind of annoying that so much of that gets wasted. Okay, I'm gonna consider these three as kind of a match, partly because of this color and also the weight of the paper. So since this one's a little different, it'll go in the center signature. And then I have some more that are just basic. I think these were tea dyed. And just, you know, I needed some plain paper in there so she could write on it. So there's those three. Okay, I'm gonna set this aside for now. This one also, it was the Mamagami one, but I could use it to back tags and things, so I'm gonna just wait on that. And for that matter, I could make tags out of this and stick them into pockets and back it with this material, and wouldn't that look cool? So we'll set these two aside for making ephemera. Martha's beautiful book pages. This is not her, this is. Okay, so I folded these so that my measurements were 14 inches wide, which when the page is folded is 7 across by 10 inches tall. And so I folded these at the 7-inch spot because sometimes you just want to do something a little bit different with the papers. I'm gonna put that one in the first one, that one in the second one, maybe, or a third one. And then I have these four. Where's the other one I had? I kind of liked how this one looked. I don't know why. I'm so partial to it, but I am. So I'm gonna put this one in the center, in the third, the middle signature, I mean, not the center, but the middle signature. So that leaves me with those two, and I still have this random page, so they may end up being coordinated. Let's see. I have one. I cut these apart, so I had that one, and of course I really liked this black, the way that picture looked there, and it's got a really pretty spread in there. And again, I folded them at the 7-inch mark, so they're not folded completely in half. So there's 1, 2. This one has beautiful fence. This one says draw nature. I could just highlight it so that it just says nature. And there is a little more blank space on that one, so I kind of like that. That over there. Let's get this one off to the side. I still have some of these Mamagami papers. So since I have 2 green tones and 1 purple tone, I'll put purple in the middle and greens on the first and third signatures. And I have map, which I did cut down into 2. when I got some more plain writing paper. So here's these. Let's put those there. I don't know that I have anything that would kind of offset it, so let me think on that for a sec whilst I arrange these three beautiful textured papers. They're just so beautiful. This one I folded in just to make it a little different. And because I feel like sometimes we direct all of our efforts to the first signature and kind of the third signature gets ignored, sometimes I like to change it up so that some interesting things happen in the last signature, because my goal in a journal is to make sure that it's as interesting if you flip through it back to front as it is front to back. And for that reason, that very long explanation, I'm going to take this one that I folded in on one side and put it in the third signature, so it's a little unexpected. You've already seen this one, it was just a plain page, but then you get to the third signature, here's the same paper, but it does something a little different. I don't know, I just like to do that. It's just part of my strange little nature. Okay, so I have this, and I have this. These were from a cookbook, and I love the background color. And then I had my Franken page, which I feel like those could kind of all be similar in nature based on the color here and the green and all of that. Okay, so that's a grouping. Let's see, I have this one, these two. Oh gosh, they're so pretty on the inside. Look it. Let's take a moment to appreciate. Yeah, pretty. All right, so what would I put to correspond with these two? I wanted to put like a portfolio, kind of a pouch thing in the center of one of the signatures. And so I have a bunch of these pre-folded book pages that I just turned into portfolio pouches a long time ago, and I think this might be the one. There's a kitty on the chair. I like all the green. When I sew it into the signature, it'll hide the stitches. We'll demo that later. I do not sew signatures in on camera, in case you all are expecting that. If you're new, I don't do that because I struggle so hard. It's painful to watch, and sometimes it takes me a really long time to get them all sewn in correctly, but you know, we each do the best we can. So these three are similar in tone, and there's more blank writing space. I have no idea how many pages are going into each signature. We may regret our choices later. Okay, so maybe this one could correspond with the map pages because of the blue. And quite by happy accident, I have part of this map is Lower California. So Los Angeles, San Diego. I think she grew up like in this area, but don't quote me because I don't exactly remember. Isn't that funny? It just worked out that way. There was no plan in that. So here's these. What do I have left? Let's see. I have a spare one of these portfolio pouches. Okay, so these were my outside covers. And then I have these two scrapbook papers, which they are thick, and they could actually, one of them could perhaps be instead the middle cover. Let's see, how would that look? You know, I want Scenic Idaho on the front. There we go, and then the Mighty Snake River with the cowboys. All right. Okay, so I think I want this one to be a signature instead. The signature of the outside page. So that leaves me with some random pieces. I think I'm gonna hold off on this for the moment. And I also had this page that I just really wanted in there. So maybe we will. Let's just go ahead, add these as another page grouping, and then this can also go somewhere in the middle signature, last signature, first signature, because I liked the butterflies. Okay, so all I'm left with that's kind of left over, I had these two, which I think will make really cool tags. So I like that idea. I'm gonna hang on to that. I can use this for tags or what have you. It's very thick. I do love it. And I can even do pockets on the inside of the covers too. And then that leaves me with a spare one of these, which I did pick because I liked that. This look, it kind of matched some of those other more botanical pages. And then I have a spare one of these. So I'll set these two aside. And then the other two can go back to the drawing board somewhere else. Okay, so now comes the really fun part. We're gonna lay out our signatures, basically. So we're gonna have 3. I need to scoot over a little bit more. And then according to how I divided up these groups of 3, I'm just gonna put them together. They are not in order in any way, shape, or form yet. I do a lot of thinking, probably more than some people, and it may or may not hold me back, but it helps my brain stay organized. So if you like to just haphazardly stuff things together, go for it, because that can look really good. It just doesn't look good when I do it. So this was first signature, second signature, third signature. I don't know, we'll see how this turns out. This is going to be really interesting, I think. That's going to go in the center. Yeah. I like to have some pages that are a little bit smaller like this so that they can wrap around the page that follows. It always looks pretty cool. And then I guess what I could do is just set these up here and not keep lifting them up. It's kind of a pain in the rear. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. Now I take a minute to arrange, and truthfully, if you're new to this, I never stick with the first way that I organize it, because sometimes I let it sit for a day or two, and then when I come back and look at it with fresh eyes, I rearrange pages. So what we come up with today will probably get rearranged, and that's okay. There's no police, no journal signature police out there. It's supposed to be fun, and it's supposed to be what you like to do. All right, so I'm just gonna start shoving papers in here and then putting them how I like, but I wanted to find the one that was gonna go in the middle. Where are you? It's way down there. This is the middle. Okay, and then, so maybe I'll just build from the middle out, because we want, that looks really pretty, doesn't it? We want things to be contrasted, and we want things, well, that is interesting, because if I put it in the right way, this is upside down. That's because of how it was in the book, so. Anyway, maybe we'll just build from the middle out, but I do like there to be some contrast between the pages and things to look interesting, and then maybe have a patterned one and then a plain one, and, you know, alternate it like that. I obviously don't want these two Mamagami ones close together, so we will try and avoid doing that. And then I like layers. Whoops, I didn't want that there. Or did I? Did I want that there? I don't know. I like layers, so layers we shall have. And some of these that are really tall, you know, they're gonna have to get interspersed with smaller ones, shorter ones. Let's see, let's just do it. Okay, I gotta scoot those guys out of the way and look at these pages a little bit better. And you know, it may look boring first time through, but we'll keep after it. And then what I do is the signature that I start with and kind of how I like it arranged, then I take the other two and do something similar with them. So that one has color. See, I have a lot of really big pages in this signature. And that may come back to bite us. We may end up having to rearrange some stuff just because they can't all be the same height. Or I can't have like maybe all the tall ones in one signature and all the small ones in another signature, right? Let's see, I want something in between those two, preferably something that's double-sided. Maybe this one. This is where it starts to get really fun. Let's see, let's put that here. I still don't have a timer to tell me when I'm running out of time, so forgot to see what time I started. You know, so now I'm looking at this. I think I want to fold it the other way because when I see how all of these are lined up, I like the blue here and the blue there. So that's the way all the pages fall. And then these guys are kind of all the same depth. Oh. It would be kind of cool to have the one that says nature next to that. So let's try that. But then maybe I want to move one of these. I feel like I want to move this one. And I still have a purple one. Okay. But I don't feel like that purple one would look good there. Well, maybe, I don't know. I don't feel like it does, so we'll keep thinking. And then these two are kind of getting hidden back there by this page, so maybe if I move that back around, I'll have the same thing I just had. That's cool. Okay, let's see. There's a lot of different heights and depths, widths of the pages, so when it comes to sewing this together, that does present some more challenges. But what if I felt like something was looking kind of blah? Let's go back and find the blah spot, but I do want this right here. So I actually am going to have 3 Mamagami pages in this center signature. I'm not sure I want that. Not sure that's quite how I want that to work out. Ooh, see, okay, see, so this, let's put that together. It's very fat. Okay, one. Okay, you can kind of see it above the top. So when you lay your papers together and get your final arrangement, you want to stagger heights and widths, okay? 2, 3, I do like how all these colors are playing together. And I also like that in the background you see this. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I don't like how that looks. That looks boring to me. 15, 16, 17. Maybe do that instead. 17. Wow, I got a big page next to a short page, so I might cut this one down. That's 17 pages in here, and I want to write myself a note. I need a sticky note. So we're going to tell ourselves this is signature 2, and that right now has 17 pages. So I'm going to hold this out because I had a lot of mamagami in there, and I don't want to be too repetitious, too repetitive. Wow, repetitious, not quite the right use of that word. All right. I do have a vocabulary. I do enjoy using it, but apparently not today. I really like that. And then I like how this burgundy kind of picks up these pinks there, and the blue picks up. Okay, this can be a really fun journal. Okay, that's signature 1. I mean 2. That's signature 2, but the first one we've assembled. So, keeping that in mind, that organization, now we can find the corresponding ones and see if we like how those look. So, all right, so this one was the little recipe book page. Here it is. Here we go. And then this one was one of these. Ooh, it's already very colorful. That's a lot right together, isn't it? Okay, and then this one. So what I can do, if I want, is just flip this around. We'll see how that looks. Because it does say spices, and she would be interested in that. See, so now I have text and just some color without pattern, picture pattern. And now this way, unfortunately, these guys are hidden on the back. So I could also reverse that. Because whatever I put here, I'm gonna put something here and it will be an extender to this page, and it may be a little more plain to juxtapose against these two. Okay, so this is just how I think. So now you know, the inside of my brain can be a very scary place. I may cut this down too because it's already a little too floppy and it's irritating me. Okay, the nature art book is this. Let's put some black in there. And then, is that right? Is that the right one? I think so. Did I just mess something up already? Oh, what's this? I have to watch my video back to know what on earth I was corresponding with what. Okay. Martha Stewart. We'll just go with it. I could be wrong, but it's okay, right? Like, the world is not going to come to a screeching halt because I put the wrong paper in the wrong order. And like I said, I'm going to change it up probably anyway. Okay, so what corresponded to this? To that envelope here. That was a calendar page. Let's keep going because I don't remember now what corresponded to the envelope. That's so crazy. Okay. So that's a Mamagami calendar page. This is a non-Mamagami calendar page. There was this book page, which I think kind of went with that. And then this scrapbooking paper, where did it go? Where's your little friend? Right there, the geode. And then music page. And then the blue paper, which was map over here. Interesting, interesting. And then that brown writing paper is here. And then this painted book page, which I think was this. Arizona. I'm going to turn it around because now I have some color next to these two. It looks a little, you know, more neutral here and definitely neutral there, so I'll put some color there. And then the Braille paper, I had this kind of a thing. And then my center. So where have I messed up? Because I have so many more pages. That doesn't add up, does it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Well, that's bizarre. How is that possible? Now here's a mamagami. Okay. So, okay, I'm already going to move that because I want something a little more different. A little more different. Not quite, I don't want all that pattern together. So let's do that. Let's do that. I'm not sure that's in the right spot. What I am sure of is that I really like this, and I really like this, but do I want all that purple together? Probably not. Okay, hold on, I got purple, I got this right there. Okay, but now this purple, you can't see that page underneath it. So, yep, here's where we start moving stuff around. Okay, like I said, I mean, the first way that I kind of lay things out is just to see if I have similar things that go together. And then, from that, I can rearrange and assemble them how I want. So see how I'm already just moving things around? I think I still want this to show on the outside. The other danger of folding papers back and forth too many times is that they come apart. Let's put that one in here. There's a lot of purple in this signature, and I had this mamagami. I have this one here that was a mamagami page. Did I have another one? Nope. I kind of like how that flows together better though. I think I am going to trim this down. It's really bugging me how it flops around. Okay, so that was the only mamagami in there, and I might. Oh, this is going to extend. Yeah. You know. More rearranging. Part of it's just how the colors play together, and part of it is, you know, there's just a lot of parts to this. Okay, Scenic Idaho. We are called the Gem State, so the fact that we have rocks and things in this journal is quite appropriate. Okay, now I can stick that in there. Nope, wrong way. Those are hanging down. Okay. I'm going to move this purple guy one more time. Right there. Okay, so I'm just getting a sense of how it feels when I flip through. I like this brown, pulls out that brown. I feel like that needed something in between. That's cool. Okay, I'm gonna leave out this one for the moment. And maybe I will scoot it over to here because between that giant white page and this tiny little portfolio pouch, it's just a huge contrast of size. I also had big with big right there. I like that brown there. I don't feel like this is working right there. Ooh, stone with stone. That's cool. Okay, I like how that's feeling now, though. Okay. So, now that I've totally rearranged, so that was signature 2 with 17 pages. This is going to be signature 1, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Ugh. 19 pages. By page, I'm just really meaning the sheets, number of sheets, because the actual number of pages is going to be times 4 when we get to that. And actually, I think I added one in here, so I think it's more like 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, oh, 19. I'm still at the same. Oh, it is the same, yeah. So now I have 19 pages in there, mysteriously, magically. Not quite sure how we did that. Anyway, put that note over here. So signature 1, signature 2. Now on to signature 3, which maybe I'll spare you the agony of watching that again. And I'll get it together and I'll come back. All right, I've got that all sorted now. So signature 1 has 19 pages or pieces of paper. Signature 2, I used 19 papers. And signature 3 actually has 20 papers, but it works and everything flows. I've flipped through here 2 or 3 times. So let me show you real quick what we've got. But I do think that after I am done, I'm gonna go back off camera and cut some of these just a little bit shorter, either shorter this way or narrower, because the way they're flopping around in the journal right now, they're just a little too big. I had originally trimmed them to the 14 wide by 10 high, just to make sure I had enough pages that were the height of the book, but because of, I don't know, it just isn't looking right because they're not all that wide, and some of them are actually wider than the outside page for each signature. So too much disparity there, I think, looks weird unless I was adding a lot of lace or trims along the edge, which I'm not going to. So far I've only identified a couple of trims, really, I think, that I want to use. So it's not, I just think it'd be better if these were a little bit closer in width to each other, and you know, just whatever looks good. So okay, flipping through signature 1, here's how it looks. I've done some more rearranging of pages. Told you, it always happens. But it's okay, you know, you just give it a few passes. And the only thing I'm not sure of is this drawing here with this. So perhaps, maybe I should turn it around. And if I do that, I could also leave that blank right there. I might need that, because I don't know what I'm going to put here to extend. So I think that's probably a good decision there. All right. And continuing on, some of these got moved quite a bit into the interior of the signature, and I turned this one around and moved it too. The only way you're going to know is if you go back and watch the video from a few minutes ago. And then continuing on through the rest of the signature, just so you can see how it looks. You know, if you only look at it from one direction all the time, you don't really get the full impact of how everything is going to look. And I just really love this This picture almost makes me want to go to Iceland, but the word ice is in the name, so no. That's pretty. Okay, that looks really pretty with that, doesn't it? I like that. I like that. Okay, so that was signature 1. I'm gonna have to get myself some clippies to keep everything together. Here's signature 2. So here's how these two are gonna look next to each other. I think that's okay. I like some things that are happening, like this creamy yellow of this page with this here from the Momogami page. And the crumpled paper with the kind of the texture of the rock is really cool too. And then it broke up this stone. And I moved this one around a few times. It's landed here. Dark brown, there you go. Continuing on to the back. Being awfully quiet, sorry. I love the stenciling here. And I just love all the texture that's on this page. I don't know, it just has always appealed to me. There's a series of those books and I've seen them at the different thrift stores. And so I have a couple of them in my stash, but they may get, as you know, some of them may get purged. Okay, signature 3, got the cowboys. I know, I keep pointing it out, sorry. It just seems kind of like a shocking contrast to the rest of the journal, so it's highly likely that those cowboys will get covered up. That looks really cool. It's just this that's remaining. It's really nice and blank. Yeah, the variation between these really big pages and then this narrower page, I just think it needs to be shortened a little bit. I think there needs to be less of a jarring contrast when you turn the page between how narrow this page is and how wide that one is. So I'll keep playing with that. Gosh, that's pretty. And then continuing on to the back half of the signature. All right. Nope. I like that this mountain page is next to this music page because, as you know, I'm trying to call it mountain music. And I think that is just kind of a nice little illustration of the title of the journal. That's really pretty together. I think I only have one page that I've tucked up from the bottom, so this one might get tucked up too. I'm trying to give a little bit of diversity there on how the pages are folded, but it's hard to know, truthfully, until you actually stick it in the journal. But my starting point is always what is the widest and the tallest that the pages can be, and then I adjust from there. Okay, so that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the session. Okay, it's already going to be so fat. Oh boy, it's going to be a tome. Yep. It's going to need like a 3-inch spine just by the time I add pockets and stuff in. Well, that's embarrassing. So I don't know, maybe I need to go back and take pages out. But here's the thing, when you get it so that it feels like it flows, it's just, you know that it's right, and so you hate to mess with it too much. Okay, have a wonderful week, you guys. So nice hanging out with you. Until next time, be inspired, do something creative today. I'll talk to you in the next video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like the content, and if you'd like to see more, please remember to do that, and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload. See you later.